Hey there, and welcome back to Jesus for Her, the place where we talk about God, one conversation at a time. I'm your host, Kathy, and I'm so glad that you're here. Whether you're tuning in on your morning walk, your coffee break, or just winding down, thanks for spending time with me. So today's episode is a good one. We're diving into a talk about Satan. Don't worry, it's not a scary episode, so grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's get into it. Let's start with why is the family being attacked so strongly? And the simple answer is that it's because it's a spiritual battle, and our enemy, Satan, hates God and everyone that's made in his image. He knows that the family is the building block of society. So if he can break apart families, he can damage society, cause a lot of pain, and just lead many people away from God. Satan hates to see families united. He hates when you respect your husband. He hates to see you love your family and speak life into your kids. He seeks to destroy your family. So let's talk a little bit about God's setup for family. Let's start in Genesis 1:27 to 28. So God created human beings in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. Then God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply. Fill the earth and govern it. Reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and all the animals that scurry around the ground, along the ground." So I'm going to break this passage down. So God created human beings in his own image. That means you're uniquely made to reflect God's nature. This doesn't mean that you physically look like God, but that you share in his characteristics like reasoning, creativity, morality, and just the ability to love and build relationships. This gives everyone value, dignity, and a purpose. In the image of God, he created them, male and female, he created them. So both men and women are created equally in God's image. Gender is just part of God's intentional design, male and female, and together they reflect God's image. And that means that both genders are essential and they complement each other. So this just shows equality and the purpose in God's design for humanity. Then God blessed them. This blessing is a sign of God's intent for humanity to thrive, to flourish, and to live in his favor. Be fruitful and multiply, he says. So God commands humans to have children and grow the human population. So the family unit is central to God's plan for humanity. This just shows the importance of procreation, parenting, and just raising the future generations. Fill the earth and govern it. Reign over the fish in the sea, the birds in the sky, and all the animals. So humans are given the responsibility to care for and manage the earth. Govern just means to bring stewardship, to nurture creation, not exploit it. And humans are given authority, but with responsibility. We're the caretakers, not the owners of the earth. This just sets us apart from the rest of the creation. This is God's design for us, and our job is to raise children that know God. The devil knows this, and he knows that if he can break apart families, he can stop God's plan to pass down faith to each generation. That's why there's such a strong attack on kids, on women, and just family in general today, because it's really an attack against God. So how does Satan destroy families? Well, the possibilities are endless. He might tempt a husband or a wife to focus too much on their job or chase things like money, cars, or expensive homes. He could stir up feelings like jealousy, envy, or dishonesty in their relationship, or maybe even lead one of them to be unfaithful. When the excitement of a new love starts to fade, he might quietly start placing doubts in the mind about whether marrying each other was the right choice. He can use greed, lust, pornography, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, obsessive gambling, just to drive a wedge between families. He might cause children to become disobedient and disrespectful, and then prompts the parents to fight over whose fault it is. He can use comparisons with others like families on social medias, friends, their perfect lives. He can stir up resentment and insecurity. But the main goal is to get each person in the family to focus more on themselves than on God or each other. So once that selfishness creeps in, it can slowly start weakening the bond and that holds the family together. So over time, these small cracks can grow into serious damage unless we recognize what's happening and choose to fight against it. There's just countless ways that the enemy can try to divide us. But God promises that if we stand strong, stay alert, and resist the enemy, he will back down. This is why it's so important to be equally yoked with people that are centered around Christ. Because when you don't know Christ, it's so easy to fall for everything. Being equally yoked matters because it's in the difficult times when you both can rely on Christ to help solve the problems. And the Bible tells us, stay alert. Watch out for your great enemy, the devil. He prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. He says that in 1 Peter 5:8. Stay alert is a strong command to be spiritually awake, not careless and distracted. In life, especially as Christians, we can become easily distracted. This is just warning us, telling us to be watchful and aware of what's going on around us spiritually. It's like a soldier on guard duty. You cannot afford to fall asleep at your post. So watch out for the great enemy, the devil. Peter is reminding believers that Satan is real, and he's not just a symbol of evil. He's an active personal enemy who opposes God and those who follow him. Calling him our great enemy just shows the seriousness of the threat. He isn't just annoying, he's dangerous, he's deceptive, and determined to destroy. He prowls around like a roaring lion. This is a metaphor. It paints a picture. A lion is powerful, cunning, he's a predator. And when it roars, it strikes fear into its prey. So by comparing the devil to a prowling lion, Peter is saying that Satan is constantly on the move, looking for moments of weakness, distraction, or vulnerability. He's not passive, he's active, he's aggressive, and he's strategic. And he's looking for someone to devour. His goal isn't just to annoy or discourage you, it's to devour you, to destroy you, to consume you and ruin your life. He breaks up your marriage. He wants to break up your marriage. He wants to feed into the addictions. He wants to fuel the lies and separate people from God. And he targets our thoughts, our relationships, and even our identity in Christ. And if you read verse 9, God tells us to stand firm against him and be strong in faith. And he also says that all believers all over the world, they're going to go through it. This is not only to you. Yeah, what a powerful message today. So if you made it this far, thank you for leaning in, listening, and letting God speak to your heart. As we've seen, the attack on family isn't random, it's strategic. Satan doesn't want you. Satan just wants to distract you. He wants to destroy what God has built. But the good news is that you're not powerless. God has equipped you with his word, his spirit, and his truth. You were created in his image. So your marriage matters, your children matter, your family matters, and it has a divine purpose. Stay alert, stay prayerful, speak over your home, fight for your family, not with your family. Because every time you love, you forgive, you serve, or pray together, you're pushing back on the darkness and honoring God who designed family in the first place. I read something on IG this week that just really spoke to my heart. When you're in an argument with your husband or maybe a family member, remember, it's you and your husband versus the problem, not you versus your husband. The same applies to your children, your friends, or anyone you love. You're not fighting each other. You're working together to tackle the issue. It's not about who's right or wrong, but about understanding each other, growing through the conflict, and just strengthening that relationship. When love is the foundation, your goal isn't to win the argument. It's to win back the peace, the connection, and the trust. So thank you so much for joining me today on Jesus for Her. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend or take a moment to leave a review. It helps more women like you to find the show. Until next time, goodbye.